What is happening, Fish and Friends? Welcome to another live episode. We're doing some live things tonight, answering questions. I see there's some people already leaving questions over in the comments. Appreciate that a lot. We're going to do some this or that, some quick rapid fire stuff. Looks like, okay, I finally see some numbers. Somebody let me know if we're live. Is it working? I do see it looks like 80 people in here already waiting. Y'all are awesome. I want to make sure we're live and working before I keep talking and go off the rails like Ozzy on a crazy train, and it's just not even going live. It says we're live. All right. What's happening, Fish and Friends? Tonight we're doing things and stuff, talking about reels, gears, and I mean because I was just teasing. There's actually looks like a daggum Brady bunch. I figured it'd be fun to do that and just kind of troll you all. Nobody was probably trolled or anything, but
they were trolled.
I hope so. Now, I should have worn my Burly hat because they would have totally been trolled. We should have coordinated shirts.
Dude, can I just jump in here real quick and just say how upset I am? Because I also have sunglasses that are green tinted. I could have been in the green tinted sunglass crew.
Yeah, we could have had a party. The green sunglass crew. I like it. We should all do that.
Do both Burly and Paul have the green?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm obsessed with the green tint copper back.
Huh?
It's the money, man. It works.
I found a website that does replacement lenses for pretty on the cheap, and this is probably the same frames, but this is probably the fourth or fifth set of lenses I've got. I'm not easy on my anything.
Dude. That is my biggest gripe with glasses is that they give you the frames are never going to break. You always scratch the lenses, and then you can't get the lenses, so they make you buy another one. And I'm like, there's all these replacement lens companies. I'm like, you know what? Legitimately, I don't care. The only part that I care about the sunglasses, honestly, is the lens, and it's the only thing that you can't get from the manufacturer. Like, I quit.
Right.
Yeah. Was that company? Is it like Fuel or something? I feel like I've looked at these before for like Costas.
No, but you can hit me up later and I'll let you know what it is. I mean, obviously there's no
secret
sponsor stuff.
You got a secret one.
Yeah.
They're a subsidiary of Mendit, and he actually owns Mendit now.
Yeah, I do actually own Mendit.
In the past 2 weeks that I wasn't able to have him on last week, he secured full ownership of Mendit. So if you guys need any sort of Mendit, Randall owns it.
Wow.
What is it? 17/16 ownership of Mendit.
17/16. Wow, cool.
You know how much more that is than what I have? 17/16.
Oh my gosh! All right, well, Fish and Friends, if you don't want to watch a show that potentially could go off the rails tonight, I would say leave, go watch Friends, go do something else, because I see lots of side quests and random things being talked about tonight. So if you only want fishing knowledge, we're going to do that. I've actually got about, I don't know how many reels here I grabbed for visual aids and such things that I had laying around. We are going to get into that. We're also going to go off on some side ventures,
stuff and things.
Here's a fun one. So Q of the D. We're going to pretend that I'm Paul. Q of the D. I don't have as manly and nice a voice as Paul, but we're gonna Q the D it up.
Wow.
And Bassin with Eddie. Unlimited money or unlimited knowledge. Is that a choice? What do you got? Burly, what do you got?
I feel like unlimited knowledge is the go-to easy answer, because if you have unlimited knowledge, you can acquire unlimited money.
So
like you just know how to acquire the money.
Okay, but is the means to the end money? If you have knowledge, is that the only thing it's about?
It's probably not about that. But I mean, you could acquire whatever necessary means there are to said end. And maybe it's some money, maybe it's some other like crucial partnerships or whatever. But like, I feel like knowledge is power.
Okay, well, to play DEBO'S advocate, if you had unlimited money, you could buy literally Mendit. You could buy the smartest people. You could buy anything, right?
Okay.
Let everyone else be smart and just buy them out afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm on the knowledge train, and I didn't even think about it. I'm not going to think about it. Even if there was like even if there's like a back door that got slammed and they're like, you could never have this much money, I'd be like, I would still take the knowledge.
You'd be like,
Randall, what about you?
I know that I can.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the knowledge train just because like I feel like, our gear is very similar, Debo, and you kind of fish the same things I do, but I feel like, you're quite a bit smarter than what I am. And, it's as of recently, at least, it's shown. Unless we're talking like spring jig fishing area, then I will beat you. But other than that, you've got me in the knowledge.
Now it's a competition. Randy,
I thought he was going a different way. I thought he was going to be like, you have all the stuff that I want, and I can take it whenever I need it. So I'll just be smart and take all your stuff.
I'm way better than you.
That's what I thought. I thought he was going to say, I'm going to 300 Spartan kick you into a lake and just
I'm still going to kick you. Yeah, it's still going.
I'm waiting for it. All right, I'm going to scroll back. We're going to do some more quick fire questions. We might even do quicker than that. I feel like we had to play both sides of the question. We had to explain it. I want to do some more of these where we just give quick answers. Like, okay, we don't explain it. Just bang, 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 bang.
Yes.
Done.
No. Maybe. Sometimes.
Okay. I love it. Well,
always.
So tonight I have to thank Paul because I really didn't have anything planned for tonight. I'll be honest. My basement was in disarray. Oh, I did get a giveaway put together. Sorry, that's why we were late here. I was cleaning, reorganizing, and I wanted to literally throw every piece of fishing equipment I had away because I hate cleaning and organizing. I was to that point, like I was just going to put it all in a dumpster and be done. I've got some stickers. I'm not a sticker guy. You can see old Randall's a sticker guy there. I don't really care for stickers. I don't use them. I've got a Debo, a 6 Sense, an Omnia. Found some of those.
I see that big old Super K sticker back there too, which I like.
Hang on, why don't I have a Debo sticker? I feel like I need 70 of those.
I've already got a box for you, get nerds. So you guys are covered.
This Super K right here.
Yes.
What
I like that one.
Super K. Tell me more about them.
I got a whole bag of Super K.
Debo gave me a bunch of stickers. I've also acquired a bunch of stickers on my own. I like stickers. I have no idea why. I just like stickers.
How many layers deep is that sticker section there? Is that like a 5-layer, like 2 inches of stickers there?
Well,
what are we talking?
No, I do gotta say no, it's not. However, I do have this little thing right here that's kind of got a few stickers in it.
Oh my gosh. Debo, you should have like made him part of this giveaway. He's got like 500 stickers there.
Well, I thought so. You guys got some stuff ready for the giveaway too, right?
Totally.
Sure. Hell yeah.
Sure, he says.
Sure.
I'm kidding. So I also got running through. I got some 6 Sense jigs. I got some finesse jigs, some hybrid jigs, divine swim jigs. I don't know, random things. Got some of those. I've got my guy North Fork painted up a cool like crappie. Oh, excuse me, crappie blue jerkbait.
How do you hold those in like that? That's gotta hurt.
I don't know.
You just imploded, like
blow my hat off and do like a cartoon thing. My guys, Midwest Warriors. You guys know Midwest Warriors. They sent some stuff a while back for a giveaway.
Yep.
Excuse me, gosh, damn.
DEBO'S is exploding.
Bass pattern. I know. I might not even make it through. We're gonna have to designate one of you. Burly, you look most like me. You're gonna have to take over the channel and scream.
Yes, got it. Can do.
I got a 6 Sense Provoke. Love those jerk baits. Put one of those in. I've got some baby brush hogs. I had to take a minute and I don't know, John, aka Chonch, if you were on here. This was stuff that I actually forgot I had. I found a whole box of stuff I forgot I had. Like, I feel ashamed. I feel like a horrible, dirty person. But anyway, Chonch sent me some stuff. John, he said, let's see, 20 packs of Lake Fork lures. Keep some for yourself. So I grabbed a few colors that I wanted to try. Dirty Jig swim jigs and 5 packs of Seabird jigs. So I threw in like 12 packs of Lake Fork lures plastics. All kinds of stuff. They're all like crawl trailers, different sizes, pretty cool stuff. Some Seabird Outdoors jigs, which actually look sick. They're homemade, hand-tied from Seabird Outdoors. Where are they at? Festus. I'm not joking.
For Uncle the rest Festus. Of us?
Yeah, Uncle Festus, Missouri. They look sweet, hand-tied. I think they're all football jigs. I got some dirty jigs that he sent in, a couple swim jigs, and then my guy Chris Felix sent in a bunch of homemade plastics that he makes. So some like Kinky Beaver looking things, Rage Crawl looking things, couple Rage Crawl looking things. So whole box I'm giving away, somebody random at the end. The only catch is you got to be on because I'm not just going to give randomly to somebody that drops in and says, hey, and is gone. So got to be honest. You want to win.
Well, let's do it for 2 people. So Burly Fishing will kick in as well.
No. You guys don't got to do that. I was teasing.
I'm not. So Jeff and I were just talking about this. I have a ton of stuff to do actually. So we got one of the Monster Bass Slick Stick 110s. Actually, in a pretty bonkers color, but I happen to have 2 of them, so I will give one of these away. I love one of those. We got the Bruiser baits. It says 2 to 4 foot diver. This is actually a 6 to 8 foot diver, but this one's actually really cool. It's like a clear blank with like purple and black. We'll do a Movement 80 from 6 Cents. This is like the what color is this? This is their
new
4K bluegill. The 4K
gill.
bluegill.
Yep.
Which is this is my favorite color actually from them.
It's a great color.
I'll do another Movement 80, but I'll give it to you in their new color. This is that like weird brown, like 70s shag carpet. Yeah, that shag carpet looking color. We'll do one of those. I'll do one of these. This one's Jeff's, so this doesn't even matter to me. This is the
wait, hold on. Maybe not that last one. Maybe that one doesn't go in the giveaway.
Yeah, we got more of those for you. We got more of those for you. And then we'll do a Crush 250.
Oh yeah,
these are sweet.
That's a good one.
And then we'll also do. We already called out Super K jigs, so I will hook you guys up with a Super K jigs, some swim bait heads. These are brand new. I don't even know if you get. Yep, I'll do blue. I'll do the mix pack in the swim. These ones. These are the 1/4 ounce. These are the ones you really want.
Finesse. Yep.
We will do their brand new imitator in 1/4 ounce. This is like that, like purple, pink, white.
I like that one.
I love that one. We'll do the 1/4 ounce net heads in orange. Ooh. And then we'll do 2 packs of 3/8 ounce. Well, I got a 3/8 and a 16th, one in black, one in white swim jig heads. And then, dude, like a ton of the Super K tube jigs. But these are the weedless ones. Those are the weedless ones. So there you go. That'll all go to somebody. I just need an address. Name and an address.
Okay.
That's what I
figure it out. That's a lot of gear, you guys.
Yeah, dude, that's a ton of crap. I appreciate you guys. I've actually got a box with a bunch of stuff ready for you guys for that giveaway that I promised. It's been hectic over here.
See, we're just trading. I'm trading up big time. I get DEBO lures, and you guys get awesome stuff.
Well, what are we at? We're at 12 minutes in and we just discussed giveaways and said hi. Oh man. It's gonna be a long, crazy night. It won't get too crazy, y'all. I promise.
14 hours later.
Yeah. Rob Harrison, my guy Rob, I was always in and supporting. Rob with the $5 bomb, spending time with family tonight, but I'll catch the replay. Want to drop by real quick and say, hey, Rob, thank you for joining. Always appreciate you, my man.
Rob's the man.
Cheers.
That's a dude right there.
Christine, yes, I was listening off giveaway stuff. Sorry, I know we were going through stuff. We're going to have 2 of them. I'm going to give away one, and then either Paul or Burly. I'm going to let them run all that. I'll get the information, just send it to them.
We'll do it at the end, man.
Yeah, we'll do it at the end.
Samesies. Two
Chad that I just had on last week is in here. I said, what's up, crazies? Yeah, it might get a little crazy training here tonight. I saw my guy Tim was in here. We got a bunch of people. So before I got into the giveaway stuff, I was going to say thank you, Paul, because Paul kind of gave the basis for tonight. And I guarantee you guys get a bunch of questions on this. Randy and I get a ton of questions. And that's if, a newer person is reaching out and saying, I've got one rod, one reel, or I'm looking to upgrade. Maybe I'm even looking to get my first baitcaster. What should I get? And it's like, that's such a loaded question. So Paul was like, how about we talk baitcasters? Like, what's the difference between some of the, the less expensive to the more expensive? What should you look for if you're picking up gear? So kind of explain that, Paul. What did you have in mind, or was there a specific question behind it, or what?
No, well, I'm actually in the midst of testing out a baitcaster for our company, and I didn't get a lot of information about it, so I was like doing a bunch of research, and I was kind of doing what you do like when you buy like a laptop, when you buy a car, when you buy anything else. You kind of go through like the spec sheet, and you're like, okay, it's got, in this case, like brass gears. It's got a composite frame, right? You kind of go through like the list of like, what does it have? And then how much should that cost? And, where kind of does it fall in the hierarchy, and like, how should I expect it to perform? And as I'm going through there, I'm kind of like, like if you drive a bunch of cars, so let's say you're a big truck guy, you drive a bunch of trucks, and you're like, there's a lot of 5.7 liter V8s. They do not all perform the same, right? There's a whole bunch of extended bed pickups. Is a Ford the same as a Chevy? Is the same as a no? They're not. They're just not. And so I kind of wanted to get into that, into like what are the things that really matter? Like what are like the top 5 things that if you're like, okay, I'm going to spend $100 what should I expect to see? And if I don't see it, I shouldn't buy that one, right? What are kind of some of the key aspects that you should look for that you're like, if it doesn't have this, I probably either shouldn't be paying this much or shouldn't be getting that reel?
I love it. I have a statement.
Randall, what's your statement?
So the biggest thing for me, and I know Debo, you and I talked about this before, is I want to touch it. I want to feel it. I want to have it in my hands.
We have had many talks about this before. Yes,
that is a huge thing for me.
I'm 7.
Yeah, and that's a great point. And I was going to say, I guarantee, like when I start going through this, everybody's going to have like a different point to add, or everybody's going to have a different point that they think is more important than what I talk about. For example, today, kind of lead. Yeah, go ahead.
Go you. No, I was just going to say,
you're a second behind, so.
The grips, the handles, the actual part that you hold on to is, you had a reel that I was casting the other day. I was like, this reel feels amazing. The whole combo is awesome, but the grips on it, there's no texture. There's no nothing to it. And granted, you could change that stuff out, but had I not had that feel and that, kind of using it touch, I would have never have known that, okay, if I buy this reel, I'm going to have to go out and, buy a replacement set of handles or those little slide over grippy things, whatever you want to call them. So for me anyway, the biggest thing, one of the biggest things is the actual feel. Yes, those things are amazing, except for the wind ones, the wind grips that do the same thing are probably a smidge better. Just saying.
Yep, 100%.
So yeah, see, Burly, you said you weren't going to be able to add into this. You just did an awesome job showing those slippy over grip things. The technical term is what we call those.
I got you. Google them on. Vanna White over here. What? You want to talk about the SLX? No, cool. I got you.
If you look them up on the internet, slippy over grip things is where
slippy
you find
over grippy things.
Oh my goodness!
I literally just Googled that.
They come in one color.
Nobody do that. Don't Google slippy over grip things.
I apologize. Don't Google that. Anybody who donates tonight, you don't have to donate to be entered in the giveaway. We're going to be doing 2 if you're just getting in here. I see we have 170 people. All you crazy awesome fishing friends, thank you so much for giving us time to talk about fishing and get away from life and everything and just have fun and hang out. But Kern River Rod and anybody else who donates tonight, want to make sure I call those out. I appreciate you all. Like I said, I never ask for donations or anything, but anybody who does, it is greatly appreciated to send out giveaways, buy more stuff for giveaways, buy gear that people are asking about, because unfortunately money does not grow on trees. I wish it did. But Kern River Rod, $20 bomb. How awesome is it having you all streaming tonight? Thank you. Well, Kern River, the thanks goes to you. We're just here to talk about fishing. So
it's easy to do.
Okay, so when it comes to fishing gear, reels and such. So like when I first started getting back into fishing, I took kind of a hiatus after I did MMA and stuff. Like I did a whole length of things after I decided to like actually upgrade my gear. And a lot of my gear was hand-me-down stuff from my old man. And I remember a couple of the things, like a couple of them were good. A couple of them were old Quantums that were good, solid reels. I didn't really know what I had at the time. Some of them were, not so good, just kind of budget older reels. I remember a couple of the reels I got some used reels. One of them was this one. This is why I've been like so hyped on getting one of these. Was the Corrado 200 E7. This is a 201. So if you look at the Shimano stuff, an 01 is going to mean it's a left-hand reel. So this is a left-hand version. But
the right-hand version.
As Randy would say, the correct hand version.
The correct version.
But a lot of the old reels back in the day were so awesome. And this is kind of one of my first things. If you're looking to get into bass fishing, see that? You have to pay high dollar to get stuff that's actually made in Japan now, or go straight JDM market, which is Japanese domestic market, to get that kind of quality. And there's still people that use these saying they're one of the best reels out there, like ever made. This is an aluminum frame, composite side plates. So I don't know if these are graphite, carbon, mix the two. I don't know what the heck they used back in the day, but these do feel solid. They're a little bit bigger in hand. They're not as light. They're a little bit more clunky kind of feeling. But still, for me, I've got pretty average size hands. I can just barely palm a basketball. It fits very well for me. So that's kind of one thing that starts out is, like Randy was saying, a lot of it's fit in hand. How does it feel? If you have smaller hands, or if you literally have big hands and you just like a real small compact reel, something like the Lose LFS or a number of the reels out there today that are really small, really low profile. You might literally just like that size and say, I'd rather fish with that, even if it's $100 reel compared to a Dio Steez that's, $300 or whatever, $400, So that's kind of part of it. So I'm glad Randy brought that up. Go ahead. What were you guys going to say?
I would. Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
Just to jump in there. Yeah, I would say that's a huge part of it. And like case in point would be these two reels right here. So that's the Shimano SLX and the Abu Garcia.
Hold on. I know how to make you full frame to boom. Go ahead and show them.
So that's the SLX right there. And if you guys haven't fished with these, then sorry, but you should try it. That one fits, I would say, in my hand a heck of a lot better than this is the Abu Garcia Revo SX. So Revo SX is just super beefy. And I actually had this on my Froggen setup, but it's just so much bigger as far as the grip goes versus that SLX, which is just sleek, slim, comfortable automatically. You can see I don't have any grips on this one because the grips it came with are super comfortable already. So I mean, just on feel, to Dizzle's point, if I can get it in my hands and feel it out in the shop, in the store, at the event at ICAST or something like that, where we just wear it makes all the difference in the world, because there are some reels that just feel super clunky. And I'll the Revo, I was fine with that. I'll give you the Cast King Speed Demon, and I like a lot of the reels, but the Speed Demon, Paul's used this as well. We actually did it in we kind of did a showdown at a local gym at Paul's house. We were flipping and pitching with all these different reels, just testing them out. And the Speed Demon, I'm not alone in this. Many people on the internet have said this. I'm not alone. It's huge. It's huge. It's one of those oversized type of reels, and it's a high speed gear ratio reel. They come in a 10 now. It's close to the Abu Beast, I think it is, but it's just huge. It's just not comfortable to hold. So yeah, I would say that's something real important if you can get your hands on it and test it out for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing to go kind of along with that is it's not just the feel in hand of a reel overall, it's the feel in hand of a reel for what you're going to use it for. Mm-hmm. If I want a jig reel, I kind of want something a little bit beefier, a little bit more of a handful versus, I guess, something that's a crankbait rod. I'm going to want something a little bit smaller, a little bit something where I'm going to feel like I can feel the bite a little bit more. So it's really all, I guess, a time and a place for what you want and what you need.
Yep. Personal preference. That's a huge part of it. And what I was trying to say on this thing is the old stuff. I don't know if I said it or not, but if you're just starting out and getting into upgrading your gear, don't be afraid to look for used stuff. You can go all the way back to the early 2000s killer reel, or you can go back a couple years and look at Lew's top of the line, LFS, or Lew's LFS Light. I've got the old, what's it called? The black and gold one. That reel feels awesome. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's a few years old. They were marking that up for 120. That was a $300 reel. Yeah. Maybe even less than that, right?
That's the tournament. Is that the Tournament Pro?
Is it the Tournament Pro? I don't remember.
Black and gold, I think, is the Tournament Pro, but
yeah, it had the cork handles. It's the Tournament Light or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm having a brain fart on it.
Those but anyway, those are 270 or 280, I think.
Yeah, it was almost a $300 reel, and you can find it for $80 when they were marking it down on clearance. Mm-hmm. So you can go back a couple of years and get stuff that was top of the line 2 years ago, and you're going to be way ahead of the line if you would get grab something that's $60 now just because of an impulse buy. Even
the Mach 1 versus the second gen of the Mach 1. They came out with a second gen Mach 1. Those are in the $100, $120 range. The Mach 1, the Gen 1, it doesn't have the combat grips, which are the bumpy, handles and the bumpy thumb bar. And it's got one or two very, very small differences. Those are less than $100. So, I mean, if you wanted to save $40, get the exact same reel on the same exact frame with the same exact materials with some very slight differences. To DEBO'S point, that's an almost nothing, literally almost nothing. And I actually have both of those reels and have used them both for a long time for a lot of different things. I couldn't tell you the difference if I wasn't touching the grips.
Yep. A lot of it is. And that's the thing you'll find year over year is a lot of them it's just going to be small cosmetic changes. There might be a new feature, colors. Otherwise, you bust them open, the innards are going to be almost exactly the same.
Well, and that's why I kind of wanted to get on this, because you guys are all talking about, You make great points. I just want to say, like, these are great points, but like, not everyone has the patience. It's 2021. People don't have the patience to wait to go grab something or use their buddies or do that whole thing. And like, I'm not saying that's how I would do it, but like, let's be real. Like 75% of people are not going to go do that. They're going to go by the stat sheet. And so that's why I kind of want to have this conversation, because there's probably 7 or 8 different things that get marketed. And I was going
to say, they're either going to go by the stat sheet, or they're going to go by who they see using it and say, oh, X was using it. That looks really cool. I'm going to buy one.
Which I think is actually okay. I actually don't have a huge problem with that. Like, the one thing I will say about all of the non-stat sheet stuff, like the stuff that you can like look and compare and contrast against, all of that stuff, it actually really does matter. Like, it really does. Like, you're the one that has to use it. Like, don't go buy a car because it has 25 more horsepower and is a better value if you don't like the way it looks. Like, that's just silly. Like, you're not going to like getting into it. Do not buy that car. If you don't like super bright reels, like, don't go buy a super bright reel because it's better. Like, you won't like it. You won't pick it up. If you don't like low profiles, like Jeff, you're running the Komodo, right? The Okuma, the SS. That thing is a Lamborghini. It is tiny. It is light. It is a really nice. I'm sorry.
You're talking about the Helios SS.
Thank you. The Helios. My bad.
The Komodo is a Hummer.
It's a giant.
The Komodo is a tank.
Thank you.
It is heavy. It's low profile, but it's heavy. Yes. And to Dizzle's point, like, it's the one that if I'm jigging, if I'm frogging, like, I'm happy with that one. It feels good in the hand, but it's super heavy duty with like a metal frame. But the Helios SX is super light. That's more of the Lamborghini. It's sexy. It's sleek. It looks good. Yeah, for sure.
I was using a Tournament XP, and I was like in deep, like trying to feel that reel out. I've been running it for like, that was the only reel that I was using for probably a week, and I was on like the 3rd day of fishing, basically only that. And then Jeff hands me the Helios. Could not be more different in hand. Could not be more, and I hated it. Like, for the first 30 minutes, I was like, this is god awful. It felt unreliable. It felt small. And even looking at it, I was like, this felt like a toy. After about 2 hours, I was like, this is sweet. I actually really like that reel, but it could not be more different than than one of these Lus. Like, they ultimately, after using like a Helios, they feel clunky and big, but they're heavy. They're super heavy duty. They're great reels, but they could not feel more different. I guess my point is, like, feel is very important, but if you and so are looks, and so is, like, the reason you have confidence in it. Like, those are all important things. But like, if you take all that out of it, there's like 7 or 8 different like marketing things that you're going to see, right? Ball bearings, brass gears, aluminum frame, the side plate, carbon fiber body, drag, and like line capacity. Are those the big ones? Did I miss any big ones?
Handles, knobs,
low profile and handles, knobs.
Low profile.
Like, is there, like, I mean, I those are the ones where I think you're going to see like somebody who's really experienced, who just hasn't used a reel. If they're going like, I'm going to upgrade, I'm going to go spend $250. They're going to get stuck between looking at like, a saltwater / freshwater Quantum, an Abu Garcia, and a Loose. And they're going to look at all 3, and they're going to be like, damn, like, these are all within $20 of each other, and I don't care. That's a wash to me. And how do I know which one to pick? So I guess to me, it's like, which one of those key factors do you look at where you're like, no, this really matters? And then you look at another one, you're like, this really does not matter.
Yeah, like that's good. And I'll try to break that down. I'm going to hit my donations real quick. I saw my guy Dersh in here. Usually he's watching over lunch break. What would that be? 2nd shift or 3rd shift, whatever the late shift is. He said he's actually in here. He can watch all night. So appreciate that, brother.
Or sorry.
Hey man, got to pay those bills. I will back that all the time. Gerard, how did Debo and Dizzle meet? We can talk about that. Loving your lures on the website. Thank you very much, man. Can't wait for that plopper to come back up, dude. I'm trying to juggle 17 different hats, and it's hard. I've started working on some. How do we meet? Let's see. We first met. Did we meet at work? That was where we met, right?
Yeah, it was at work. We worked at the same job. I don't know if we were on the same team. We had the same boss, I think, at the time, right? Maybe.
Yeah. Telemarketing job, customer service. Yep.
And then we started my boss and your mentor, we started doing some MMA stuff, and we started hanging out more. And then it was, I guess just one thing led to another, and he's trying to hold my hand. I mean, not hold my hand, but he's trying to. No, I mean, we've been really, really good friends.
So Tinder is where you met.
Pretty much.
Bumble.
Yeah,
Did you hear of Bumble?
Whatever that new bearded Tinder app is, that's where we met. Yeah,
but really, it's been like almost 20 years now since we've known each other, and
yeah, I was gonna say the funny part is like we were like best buddies. We worked together, we trained, we we go out and do the college stuff, not partying, none of that. We didn't do that in college.
No,
me neither.
Did all that stuff, and then Dizzle moved to a whole different state, so we like kind of fell apart for quite a while there in the middle. And it was like 10 years or 8 years or something later.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's been back in 2015 now, because it was a couple years before I even started my channel.
Who even knows?
Yeah, so like 2015. But the funny thing is, we met like back in 2003. So it's like it's crazy that gap. And then it was just a random thing of my old lady was like, "Hey, did you know Randy?" Because we were at Randy's wedding. Went through all that stuff. And then he moved. Crazy things happen. And we just kind of lost touch. And she's like, "Hey, do you know Randy fishes?" And this is when I was back, heavy in fishing. Like, no, I didn't. And I think I messaged him or something, and boom, look at that, fishing friends.
Literally, it was out of the blue. You like sent me a message on like Facebook or something back when I used to have it, and you were like, "Hey, let's go fishing sometime, buddy." And I was like, "Okay." And then I remember sending you a couple of texts with some like pictures of my like 4 hard bait tackle boxes full of like crankbaits and stuff, and you're like, "Ha ha ha, that's cute."
That's cute.
Just pan around your entire room full of stuff, and I was like, "Oh,
all right, Dizzle, I'll help you out, buddy."
Dude, that's. I just want to scare you further, Debo. That is literally Paul and I's story. So not only are you and I twins,
dude,
but we have literally the exact same backstory.
It's funny.
Paul and I.
It's funny. That's what Randy was just talking about. Oh, Randall was like, "Dude," he's like, "Do you realize that you look just like Burly, and you're like the Burly one of the two, like the nicer guy? You're talking and stuff." And he's like, "I'm like, Paul, we're just kind of assholes." And I'm like, "Yeah, like you two kind of are."
Paul, facts, absolute facts. Everyone in my neighborhood, with the exception of like my 2 like direct neighbors, like I'm absolutely sure thinks that I'm like the biggest d-bag on the block. Not close.
And they're right.
They're right. They're not wrong. I didn't say they were wrong.
Absolutely correct.
I'm like, Randy, you are the type of guy that would just take a scale and throw it at me and try to get 1 million views on Twitch or whatever the heck that is. What is it? What is the thing?
Wait. Are you starting a Twitch stream where you just?
No, what's the thing? I can't even think of it. What the hell's the
TikTok?
thing? TikTok. There we go.
I'm like ready to commit seppuku over here. That was
Whatever.
I'm totally gonna TikTok as I kick you into the water tomorrow.
Hey, if it gets
that
you
will
views
bang.
and become famous, do it, dude.
That will be 1 billion views. Tell me you don't TikTok without telling me you don't TikTok.
Oh God, that was
I love it so much.
Okay, well, we're gonna try to get to some questions as we're going through, guys. It's fun having 3 other sets of eyes on this. Try to find if there's any good questions you want to call out. Let me know. So I do see we have another donation after this. I'm going to hit this one. Creek and Trail, another big supporter. This is kind of what we were leading up to when Paul was going over that. We were talking. So what's in your order of importance for a bait caster? Frame, bearings, drag, feel, etc. So like Paul was saying, like a lot of companies will load the stat sheets on things, and you'll see a lot of like proprietary, naming conventions for things like, Hagane body, MCS brakes, like each company will kind of do their own proprietary naming when it's, a lot of it's the exact same stuff. And like we were talking about before, a lot of them are made in the same factory. You've got Doyo, what's the Korean one? I can't even think of it off the top of my head. Doyo, Banex, I'm blanking on, I can't even think of it. Anyway, a lot of the same factories, you look at like Bass Pro, Luz, Abu, same factory, but I agree with Paul. They don't have the same standards. And it's like the best way that I can explain it is, you remember back in school when you got the popsicle sticks and you had to make like the popsicle stick bridges? Everybody got 100 popsicle sticks and 1 thing of glue, and you had like the really smart kids that made like these crazy bridges that you could literally walk across, and then like mine that you could like just barely touch and it would break apart because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, right? Exact same materials, exact same number of materials, but a completely different end product. And I'm not saying that, there's one better than the other. Like a lot of it comes down to feel. A lot of it comes down to, what you look at and what you think's important. Like you look at Shimano, they might have 2 or 3 bearings in it, and you're like, oh, that's junk. A Shimano SLX is literally one of the top of the heap at $100.
That's the one that I think is the easiest one to harpoon is bearings. Yep. When I see someone, let me put it this way: when I see somebody say, 2. When I see like 10 plus 1, I almost am like, I know that they're just trying to win that battle on the stat sheet, and I know, and I know that does not matter as much. Yeah. It certainly doesn't have to. So like when I see when that's like the first thing that they're like, look at all the bearings, I'm like, I already probably know that this is not as nice of a reel as it's priced. Just if I knew nothing else, if that's the best thing you have going, I know that that's probably an issue. At least that's how I've looked at it.
If it's a big marketing thing, yeah. The funny thing is even if you look at like the Shimano stuff, as you go up in price, they're going to have more bearings. So they still add bearings. Like there's the key bearings. You've got school bearings. Good Lord, spool bearings. You've got side plate bearings.
Take them to school.
Yeah, the actual bearings. Like when you press your thumb bar in and you turn this. This is literally only running on a couple bearings. I mean, you've got your bearing in your side plate here. You've got your bearing over here inside your tension knob. And this spool is only running on a couple bearings. So you've got your important bearings there. Then you can go into bearing versus bushing. And a bushing is just like a plastic, really slick. If you think like a nonstick skillet, like a bushing is a piece of plastic like that that's really slick. Like so instead of having a bearing in here, let me show you real quick. Instead of having a bearing in here, I actually put some orange seals on this one the other day, if you can see it. Instead of having a metal bearing like that actually spins, it's just going to have a plastic bushing where the material spins inside of that bushing. The bushing is solid, so like if I held my hand like this, it would spin inside here. None of this moves, right? And what's funny is like if you look back at the old the Daiwa reels, the old why can I not think of the name of it? My dad's reel that I took apart. It had brass bushings. So they weren't made of plastic. They were made of brass. Same thing. And then you see 13 Fishing come out. I don't know, was that 3 years ago with the Concept Z, where they're like, oh, it's made of a space age polymer. It's 0 bearings. But they were just bushings, right? And companies have been doing that. And you kind of see them recycling things and names and such. So like the order for me is, if you want something heavy duty, the biggest thing for me is getting an aluminum frame. So like when I talk to people about a plastic frame, and I don't know if this one will do it. Not all reels do. See, this is one that both of these have surprised me. I've got some cheaper reels that you can get, online and stuff. And a good test is if you take and hold your reel tight and you take your handle and start it up at the top and go, oh, this one did it a little. Ooh, hear that? That's what happens when you've got a little bit of flex in there and your pinion gear, the main gear, they're clicking against each other, right? This can torque, and you'll feel it when you get either a big fish on or if you get a fish that's in a bunch of slop. Most of the time, you're never going to need it, right? I shouldn't say most of the time. A lot of the time, you're not going to need it. This reel, this is actually the Daiwa C. Is this the CC80? I don't remember which the numbers are. CC80. So this is the Daiwa CC80. This is a Chinese-made reel, right? So in the Daiwa line of things, I think there was a lot of heartache about this because I don't think I grabbed the Fuego. The Fuego was like one of their least expensive reels, which was one of my favorites at like the $100 price point. Then they came out with these that were like $59, $69, or $59, $79, and $99. All Chinese-made reels, all graphite, frame and everything. Some of them were what is it? Starts with a C, not graphite.
Carbon.
Carbon. There we go. Some of them are a carbon mix, etc. When it comes down to it, it's a plastic or a mix of plastics. And that's the thing is you can get things that are out of line. So even with me, I don't fish every day. I'm not a pro, but I have roasted reels. I've roasted a lot of reels. And like if I'm roasting reels and I don't fish every single day, like there's something to be said about that. But
in Iowa.
Yeah, in Iowa.
No offense to Iowa, but you're not in Texas.
No, right. Yeah, I'm not catching
reels in Iowa.
5-pounders every video, as you guys know. There's lots of dinks that get caught. And if I'm ruining reels on dinks.
Well, and You will feel it. So I did. I think I showed you guys earlier off camera, but got the mock smash, and I really wanted to like dive deep on some of the combos that I know like a huge majority of people are either looking at or buying, and so that I could have an informed opinion when someone asked me, right? And that was one that I know a lot of people look at. So I just got one and fished with it for about a month, and I had it in the boat every single time I went out, and that even when you were doing what you're doing, where you're like trying to do it quick, like real quickly, I would hold the drag down and then crank down, and I can feel, even attached to the rod, I can feel it flexing. And I would catch a 3-pounder plus, and I called it out to Jeff like the first time it happened. Mm-hmm. He was like 30 feet from me. I was like, I actually have it on camera. I went and checked to make sure that the screw that holds the reel in didn't come off because it flexed so much. I was like, oh, this is coming off right now with this fish. I reached in and checked, and it was just because it flexed. And that's the type of thing where that's kind of a boo-boo for me. Like, and it's, again, to your point, it's not everything. It's not something you're going to feel all the time. The first time you feel it, and then the 100th time you feel it, you're probably gonna have the same reaction. You'll be like, F.
Yep, and and I'm not saying like these carbon graphite frame reels are junk, right?
No.
You can use these for treble hook baits, crank baits, even lighter stuff. If you're not in a bunch of heavy stuff and you're not catching, monster fish, most of the time you're going to be all right. Or if you fish once a month, chances of you running into that, and I mean, you're not going to feel it. So, there's a bunch of different variations to that, right? So I'm not saying these are junk. I use this reel, and honestly, this reel surprised me. There's some of these reels that are completely graphite that surprised me. I have the maroon one that I really wanted to hate. That's like $99, and all graphite. Like, why would you do that in Iowa?
Yeah.
But I didn't have any issues with it. I actually liked the reel, and I wanted to hate it, So I'm not saying those are bad. Like, that's just something to look for. But if you get stepping up into when you get to the situations where you're going to be in heavier stuff, you're going to be catching bigger fish, casting heavier lures. Like, believe it or not, casting and reeling in heavier lures on a graphite frame reel will toast them out quick too. So, if you're throwing bigger swim baits, trying to punch, like I've had people be like, I was trying to punch with this and I roasted the reel. Well, it's not set up to throw, ounce and a half.
It's to kind of cap that one, because there's a bunch of other ones too. Like, you kind of need to make a decision as to how important that really is for you, because, and the reason I say that is because you are going to pay for that aluminum frame. You're talking about $100 minimum, basically, roughly. You're going to spend 100, like over 100, 100 over 100, or under for graphite or carbon. And there are ones where you can spend, get graphite and carbon that are over $100, but like as a decision point, if you decide like I want an aluminum or a metal frame, you're gonna basically pay 100 or more, and that's your floor, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So how important is that to you?
Yep. And that's why I say, like, at the $100 price point, like, you step up to an LFS. This was like one of the first. After I actually got that old Corrado, the 200. I sold it because I got it for like $40, and I sold it for like $40 because it was like old and trash. I didn't know what I had. I wasn't into like fixing up stuff at the time. But like the LFS, the Abu Garcia Pro Max, there was a couple that I got at the time. And this LFS, I know some people say good, bad. I mean, these were made in China back in, would have been 2015 or 16, I want to say, the older version of it. Solid reel. I never had a single issue with it. This is from that time. And listen, that's for me taking care of it every year, multiple times a year, of course, because it was one of my couple, reels that I had. But I mean, it's been through the dirt. It's been like, it's scuffed up, paint. Look at this side. There's nothing on the side. Stickers all rubbed off, like nothing on there.
Well, it's sort of like the Glock, 19 or 17 of reels, though. And they're known for that. And that's the reason that their low profiles are still heavier than a lot of the other ones. The reason that when you grab a Helios, it doesn't feel like a Helios. And they don't really make a reel like that.
Yeah, or even the SLX, like Burly was saying, you grab an SLX and it definitely does feel smoother, like even compared to, new to new. So, if you're going to start getting into heavier stuff, if you're a fish heavier stuff, you catch bigger fish, more often than not. You're not like me. I say spending that extra, whatever, $20, $30, $40 and getting an aluminum frame, like that's what I advise people. It's going to last you as long as you take care of it. It'll last you. So let's
answer this. Should we answer this one?
Yep.
Just and say, like, it's not just because the label says it's aluminum, it's this, it's that, it's whatever. It's the actual feel of it. I've seen a couple of different YouTube videos where somebody went out and literally they showed them going and buying a new reel, and then they kind of grabbed it in both of their hands and kind of squeezed, pulled apart, and the thing cracked, even though it was like an aluminum reel. So it's, again, going back to that, get it in your hand, get that feel type of, situation. At least for me anyway, I want to be able to feel that. And if I'm jigging with something, specifically jigging, like I just want something beefy, something that feels like, it could stop a truck in its tracks if I needed it to,
100%. So, I mean, like the Komodo SS that is stainless steel is like bulletproof. It's absurd. But I also call out like the Zada, like the Abu Garcia Zada is a graphite reel. And that was one that we reviewed on our channel, and like it just got poo-pooed on because it's like, well, it's graphite. Why would I spend that much money? But like, it's a pretty heckin' durable graphite frame. Like it defies graphite. To your point of like aluminum versus aluminum, like how much aluminum or like how high? Yeah, exactly. Or like the Roxani, is that the Roxani? Yeah. So the Roxani Zada are exactly the same, but like that level of graphite, it's just better quality. It's more durable. It's one of my, as he's like, watch me break this thing right now. I like that reel a lot. And a lot of people are like, graphite, that's going to poop in like a year. And I was like, nah, dude, watch. And I mean, I've been using it a ton. It's on my Bass X rod. It's like one of my go-to setups. And I've been beating that.
Just don't ever let Debo use it.
I will never give it to Debo because he does that with every single reel.
That's the thing, though. It's like this one I really wanted to like because it feels good in hand. It casts really well. But yeah, I'm like, for it's like $179.
Yes,
why would they not put a graphite frame on it?
So when they first came out, they weren't $179. So if they've gone up in price, or if like the Roxani for whatever reason, even though it's like exactly the same, is more expensive, sure. Now I would say nah. But like when I got mine, it was like $129, and I was like, okay, like that's fine. Like I'd be willing to spend that on it, and for what it's done, I'm happy with it.
None of this stuff is like, draw a line in the sand. If you see aluminum, it's always going to be better, or it's the only thing you should pay for. So I want to be clear, but at the same time, like what I want to do is I want someone to watch this episode and be able to say like, look, I've got $125 to spend. What are but I'm never going to be able to try any of these out for whatever reason, or I don't care, or I don't want to, or I'm going to make a call between my top three, right? Sure. I want this person to be able to like, okay, aluminum frame, that's a check that I'm looking for, and I'm willing to spend maybe $150 because it's something that I really want to get. Or I'm not going to break the $100 value because it matters to me, but like I'm just a dude and I just want to catch, dinks all day.
Just a guy.
It doesn't matter, right?
Trying to catch the dinks, You
get it. You get what I'm saying. And so, like, does this matter? Does this not matter? I do think that aluminum frame matters, and it's kind of hard to get around. It's not the only reason you should get a rod. You should not only own aluminum frame reels by any stretch, but it does make a big difference. So I do think that is sort of like, if you're going to start comparing like the field, like if you're going to like do a hierarchy, I do think that for me is the top of the hierarchy and something that I look for. Like I'm reading the whole description if it's hidden somewhere to find out whether it's Hagani,
and they will often,
because you'll find out it's graphite. Price
point, you'll find out it's like a composite frame, or it's a durable something frame. It's like, this doesn't tell me what it is. What is it?
And if you have to look, that's to your point. They're disguising that beneath the 25+6 ball bearings, right?
Yep. Yeah. Let's get into some questions. So Camp Waffle Stomper, bait casters.
We just heard this like this week, and I was like dead.
He just joined our YouTube membership.
I think it's a she. Actually, I believe it's a female because I remember reading. Well, I remember listening to your channel. I believe it's a female.
Oh, that was fantastic. Woman joined our YouTube membership.
Left or right hand retrieve. I cast spinning reels right-handed / reel with my left hand. So like me on a spinning reel, cast, flip your bail, reel with the left hand. Should I buy a left hand retrieve bait caster as well? Yes. Out of the gates, if you already reel left hand with your spinning reel, you might as well just get a cast and retrieve left hand, because you're going to cast with it and then right away retrieve with it. I got bombarded for the longest time on this, and I didn't learn to go both ways with both left and right-handed bait casters because of that. Hey, I mean, what do you do? I use both left and right-handed, and I get questioned on that all the time. Like, how do you do that? And for me, it was just like a point of being able to use both so I can talk about them, because a lot of times you'll find better deals on left-handed because like they sell all the right hand out. They can't sell the lefties out. I'm like, dude, I could find them like half off. And it's like, oh, of course, all they have is a bunch of lefties. Nobody uses those except
I've done that.
Where is that?
What? No, nothing.
The internet.
So I learned to use both, but back in the day, like when my dad taught me 20 something years ago, like right-handers were all you could find. I mean, there were some lefties around, but that's what I tell people is like, I don't understand, but there's some people that are stupid enough to be like, oh, you just want to look like a pro. So you cast with your right hand and then switch hands to reel with your right. So you look like a pro. You're such an idiot, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, it has literally has nothing to do with that. But back when I learned, you couldn't go in a department store and find left-handed reels.
100%. You almost still can't. Store? Yeah. What is a defined department store? So were you going to like a stand?
Stay out the Woolworths, Randall.
Was it a mall? Do those still exist?
Do they?
Is that an Iowa staple? Like they're only.
Debo, what was the store on Collins? Right there by those two buildings that were rounded that looked like things. God, it was like a sporting goods. Never mind. We'll talk about it later. But that was, in my opinion, a department store.
I don't know
where you just laid out.
Anyway, yeah, I would say if you're already using a spinning reel, because what's really weird with me is I cannot use a right-handed reel spinning reel. I cast, even when I was only right-hand retrieve bait caster, I would cast my spinning reel, and I was completely comfortable reeling with my left hand on a spinning reel. I couldn't use that on a bait caster to save my life. So it's
here's the deal. Here's the deal. I did some research on this because it was bugging the crap out of me, literally a year ago, and I was trying to figure out why anyone. When I first started fishing my first bait caster, I bought a left-hand retrieve because it made no sense to do any of that stuff with your other non-dominant hand. And I was like, the only reason I could think of was dominant versus non-dominant. Like somebody wanted it for the other side, but I was like, most people are right-handed. I want power here. Like I need power here.
That's a good point too, because I got called out on that, and I'm like, they're like, you're doing it wrong, because if you really knew what you were doing, if you're right-handed, your right hand's stronger. I'm like, actually, that's funny because I'm a southpaw and all my power is on my left arm, and I'm stronger on my left, so it's more comfortable for like.
So I get that makes sense to me, but at the same time, it didn't make sense if the majority of people out there are right-handed. Why would they be having it backwards where you're setting with your other hand? So I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So I went back and I did some research, and to DEBO'S point, it started out with the way that reels were manufactured in like the 40s and 50s. Those original knuckle busters, they were all manufactured not smart, and it was because of the components is the reason that most of them were manufactured the way that they were, and then that just never changed. Like no one ever was like, we should change this. And what I was watching people I was watching people cast and then have to switch hands. So there's this like millisecond, half second, whatever, when the lure hits the water, when you stopped it with your thumb, that you have to switch hands. I'm like, what? Why would you do that?
And then you miss a fish.
Exactly. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
I can't say how many times that fish hits right at that instant when it hits the water.
It's not a huge deal, but like my brain was like, why would you even open yourself up to that if you didn't have to? And so all of my bait casters that I bought were left-hand retrieve, and they continued to be left-hand retrieve. And so I'll say this to DEBO'S point, like do whatever you're comfortable with. Like there's no wrong answer. So like anytime so it's like right versus left, like it really doesn't matter. You can use whatever retrieve you want. But I'll say this about left-hand retrieve. There's like a millisecond if you're casting with your right hand that you have to like switch hands. And so if you don't have to do that, like don't make yourself do that. That's all I would say.
Make love, not war. All right. So I did want to point this out. Quick apology to Camp Waffle Stomper. Yes, she is female. She did put her pronoun as she. So thank you so much for being so awesome and asking awesome questions. But also she said Waffle Stomper is slang for hiking boots because of the lug soles on them. So we've appreciated the name for a couple episodes now, and I just wanted to point out that's why her name is the name.
I still like it, even though I know it's like very like normal, but it still gets me every time I see it.
Great.
I dig it, and that's funny. So Randall Pink Floyd, always a supporter in here, says throw a 300 size reel, and a 300 size reel just means bigger frame, more spool capacity. So like if you look at like musky reels, and this is I kind of go back and forth because you'll hear guys bickering over like an ounce. You know, oh dude, I'm telling you, if you use this and this ounce will save you. And I get it does. Like there's some reels literally that are just more comfortable, a little bit more lighter that I shift to them. Even if they're more expensive, less expensive, if they feel comfortable in my hand, like I'm going to use them. But to his point, you know, if you throw a musky combo all day and then go to a bass combo, any bass combo, whether it's a 4 ounce or a 6.5 ounce, it literally feels like a kid toy. It's fun.
It's absurd. So to jump in on this, I have a Komodo SS 300 size reel with a power handle. So if you guys haven't thrown a power handle,
just the one handle, right? The one big handle.
But it's like a magic 8 ball that's like glued onto it.
On the steering wheel. Yeah, it looks like the things you glue on your steering wheel too. Yeah.
This is how Jeff retrieves.
So 100%.
He holds it this way and reels like this.
just slinging swim baits all day, and then you go back to your regular combo and you're just like, oh my God.
Dude, it does. It's hard. I can't do it. Yeah, it feels so weird.
Great point.
I did see my guy Tackle Junkie in here talking about the Helios SX being fire. I'm that far behind. Paul was talking about that, I don't know, like 17 minutes ago, maybe 30 minutes ago.
The Hakai that just came up that does look amazing, and I'm trying to get my hands on one super bad. Someone just called that out. I just saw it. And the Super Duty Lose, I'm also trying to get one of those and justify the expenditure. Even though I have no use for it. They just look legit. And I got my hands on one. I was like, I want one.
Justify. Not important. So Tackle Junkie is going to be on our podcast in a few weeks.
Yep.
See you soon, dude.
Mr. Jim slinging knowledge over there too. He's a good cat. So I get questions on. I bought my first Piscifin baitcaster. Never used any of their stuff. The Alloy M, which funny enough, I have been really happy with. Aluminum frame, graphite side plates. I let Randall use this the other day. He's like, dude, it actually casts really well. It's on my, if y'all follow me on Instagram, it's on my cash and rod, the first cash and rod that I've owned that also took some getting used to with the Kevlar, like weird grips. Reel cast's awesome. I like the reel a lot. We'll see how it holds up. But I've also had questions on 6-gill. I don't know anything 6-gill. A lot of the stuff I've looked at like stats and stuff, and I've been kind of like,
we have things to add.
We have things to
what
say.
do you got? Okay.
So I've owned several 6-gill reels. I will say like their spinning setups I'm a fan of. The spinning rod, the spinning reel, I do like them. And I want to say, I'm going to call this out, big fan of the company in their support of some of the causes that they are a part of. So our friends over at Autism Anglers partnered up with 6-gill Fishing, and they came out with a special autism combo, which was fantastic.
I got one coming.
We both have ordered some, the proceeds of which went to support that amazing cause. So I do want to first precede what I'm about to say with that. They're fantastic. As far as their bait casting reels, not a fan at all. I've owned several, and compared to the many others that I've owned, like, and I've had many at this point, Debo, I know you've had a bajillion more than I have. Man, the feel, the castability, just the smoothness of it, everything was just off. It was like a 3 out of 10 across the board from me. So I think the latest one I had was I think it's a Crius. I don't know how it's pronounced. I just looked it up, but it's CRIUS. It's their $150. Their mid-range reel. Their top end is the Hammer or the Wraith at like $229. So I have no experience with those. I have experience with like their lower end, which is the Cyclone is their $100 one. The Crius is their $150 one. And for $150 compared to SLX, the Serrano, the Helios SX is more like the $200 range, but the Revo SX, the Lose that I've owned, like any of those, it's just like no comparison.
Yeah,
just across the board, no comparison. Not even in the same realm of comparison there. So I hate to say it because they do have some amazing causes that do support spinning setup, which in my opinion, humble opinion, kind of hard to screw up, to be fair, but I think their setups are good. I do own several of their rods, just was not a fan of the bait casting setups. That's just my opinion there.
I will go Lightspeed on PC Fun. So I bought the Carbon X spinning version, and I loved it.
Fantastic.
For 15 months. I hit a point very recently. The reason I bought the Revo actually, or the Abu Garcia Zada spinning combo, the reason I bought that is because that carbon reel, I could not, it got so gunked up that I could not turn it over.
Yeah,
I could not turn, I have video of me going like this and nothing happening. And I cleaned it. I oiled it. I lubed it up, and it was a continuous problem. Like, it happened enough to where I was like, I'm going to lose a fish because of this. And I did not like using it. So I did ditch it. But for that first year and a half, I love that thing. The 2000 size is amazing for finesse fishing. I'll say it right now. Like, if you're in, like, do it up. And then I also used one of their bait casters. Jeff, do you remember which one I had? I can't even remember which one I had.
It was the Carbon X, and you loved it at first. I remember you specifically being like, "This reel is $70."
Yes,
and I love it. It's $69.99 if you guys get it on Amazon. And for maybe 3-4 fishing trips, you were like, "I freaking love this thing." And then there was a fishing trip, a trip in which you had a great day. By the way, I'll just put it that way. You had a great day, but you put that combo away. You were like, "Later, nerds. I'm not fishing with this thing the rest of the day." And you changed your mind entirely. You fished with it for the first, I think, hour of the day, and then you were like, "Dude, I'm never fishing with this again."
Here's what would happen.
Hard on you.
Yes, and honestly, I used it 3 or 4 trips after that, and it got worse and worse and worse. So what happened was, I would cast, and the whole braking system would engage and lock up, or you would be trying to do like a finesse flip, like something finessey, and like nothing would happen. Like the braking system, like nothing would happen, and you'd be like, "What? Where did this come from?" And I'm not here to talk trash about the company. I've heard a lot of people say that they really like it. I bet you anything that it's the models, the way I beat the crap out of my stuff, for sure. I mean, I drive a kayak with a truck, like all that stuff gets used heavily, but I cleaned and maintained those reels. I actually did a whole video using those as like how to clean stuff. Like I'm all about that. And I didn't have the greatest experience. I probably won't buy another one, but I won't tell anyone not to buy one. I would just say be leery.
It was the Phantom. Somebody just called
Phantom.
It out.
Thank you very much. It was the
Phantom. Sean Lay. It was the Phantom.
I've never cussed more on a trip than when that one actually went off on me. And I was, if I met you in the parking lot that day, double leg takedown. It was not going to be a good day for anybody.
I deleted the first 1 hour of that fishing trip on YouTube. But to a separate
that's
point.
What happens. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. A lot of those, all graphite frames. And it's not any company. I'm not picking on anyone. Like, I have stuff I use everywhere, but I mean, just longevity, they literally don't last as long. And especially if you take them apart and put them back together.
3 months. That was like 3 months.
Again, it depends on how hard and how often you fish. That's what I'm saying. If you fish once a month, you're not going to notice it. If you fish 2, 3, 4 times a week, you notice that a lot more. And especially if you're trying to maintain, or if you tinker with your reels,
if you drop all of them all the time during live shows.
If you drop it, oh my gosh. That's the problem. I got to get some things that aren't connected. When you take them apart, you'll notice with aluminum framed reels, you're getting the bite of the actual screw going into the aluminum frame. So it's going to have smaller threads. It's going to bite into aluminum. It's going to hold tight. Just don't over tighten it. Randall may or may not have been guilty of over tightening and cracking I was just going to say, you take your side plate off and you got usually like 1 or 2 screws right there. And I'm a big old dummy, and I'm just going to tighten stuff down to make it tight. And I tightened it down way too much. And I actually cracked one of those little, I guess, screw housings. And now the side plate, it will not fit back on. The reel is roached. It's done. There's nothing you can do about it. Yep. And if you look at like an all graphite framed reel, like an actual body, this is the body part here. Those screws are going to have a bigger, what would it be? Bigger I guess I don't know, thread. It's a larger thread.
Okay.
So if you compare the thread size of aluminum screws going into aluminum, they're real small. And if you look at going to graphite, they're a lot bigger, a chunkier, meatier looking thread. That's because it has to grip into that. It needs more meat to grab onto because it's not as solid. So if you over tighten those, or as those get loose, like they just don't hold up as well over time. Again, not saying don't ever buy one of those. I've used multiple for for certain things, as long as they're not catching 8-pound fish on all the time and doing super heavy duty things, they're fine. Like a lot of my treble hook lures, I use those, not an issue. So
yeah. 100%. If anybody's had special good luck on the Phantom, let us know. And I think that guy was letting us know that he did have good luck. Yeah. But I'll say, like, on that note, there's those like the budget brands, let's just call them the Amazon brands. Maybe that's more fair. Yep, that's one of them. So there's like those. We have like the Cast King Zephyr BFS I recently acquired, which I'm kind of a fan of. I've
in America.
Cast King's spinning reel, the Royal Legend 2 that I'm testing out. I got the Runkle. Like, these are all basically, they live on Amazon. PC Fun is one of those brands. And, some of them, I think it's hit and miss. I think some of them are actually decent for like the price. And like this Royal Legend, to me, looks solid, feels solid. We'll see how it fishes. $39. Like, come on, kind of ridiculous. But then like your Phantom was $69, and it seems like it's split. Like, some people are like, yeah, this is great, and some people are like, eh. And maybe it's that you've had your hands on some super fancy reels, and you're just like, I don't really want to, downgrade to this level. It depends. It's definitely one of those feel things. It's experience things for sure. But again, it's not to say that these brands don't put out some like banger setups. Just they're not all winners, and I think that's fair. Maybe with any brand.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you're gonna hit like I will preach that the LFS is one of the best $100 reels. You'll have people either say that they'll never use it because it's made in a Doyo, generic. And again, I'm not even gonna go down that route, but they won't even try it because it's that, or they'll say they've tried one, it's absolute crap. Same thing for the SLX. I really like my SLX. There's some people that say, dude, that's their cheapo crap version. Just get a Corrado. You're wasting your money on an SLX. Like, there's
it's
some
kind of
people
like
that
me
just
anything Daiwa, it's all garbage.
Yeah, Randy hits Daiwa. Every Daiwa he's had bad luck with. I know, dude. I've had the exact.
Are you?
I'm just saying.
And it looks like I'm upright. I'm on the floor.
It's a Ford freaking Ranger.
It's funny because the day he said that, we were joking about it, and I went out frogging, and I had my Daiwa Tatula 200 tank of a reel, one of my favorite reels.
Yep.
Busted it.
No!
And he's like, I'm like, dude,
can I make something rain on that comment?
I was like, man, I just busted my frog reel on the hook set. You'll hear it when I do the video. It's actually coming up Monday.
You actually hear it as he said it. I was like, I thought the rod broke. It was that noise.
Yes. However, part of this is user error because I have since adjusted to the way that I set my hook. I don't set from like 7 to 1. I now set a lot of the times from like 8-ish, 9-ish to 2-ish, 3-ish, because I broke, I don't know how many dongles, the thing that connects your your mic to your GoPro. Yeah. Probably 12 of those. I think is what you call it, is a dongle, the thing that connects the
I know you work in an office because you know the word dongle.
I do, yeah.
I know, dude. It's in my vocabulary as well.
I actually had some Gomexes. I saw a couple people asking about Gomexes handles.
Oh, yeah.
They are kind of expensive. Yes, try to find them on sale, but dude, these things are, I freaking love them. But anyway, I had one of those and set kind of like 45-ish sideways and I actually ripped the nut off that holds the handle on.
What are you doing, bro?
I stripped
like a different way of saying that. I don't ever want to hear you ever say I ripped a nut off or anything.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. Dizzle, did you say don't say rip a nut off?
Anyway, Randall, I ripped the handle nut off.
Dongle broke when he was ripping a nut off.
Ripped the handle nut off, and it actually stripped the main gear that goes into the reel.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I had to order. I'm sorry, not the main gear, the main shaft.
Yeah, the pin that goes all the way through. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to order a new main shaft directly from Dial. So
my
I finally
mom's
got that
directly.
Oh, right now. Main dongle shaft.
Oh my gosh! I told you guys there might be some.
Always rip the dongle. All right, so I do
rip the dongle. Come on, bro.
So I have a.
First of all, hang on. It's an iPhone wiener. It's not a dongle. I just want everyone to know that.
So I do have a. I want to hit a couple of these other things. So we talked a little bit about ball bearings. We talked about graphite versus aluminum frame. Tell me your thoughts on if someone sees brass gears, what does that mean to you versus like stainless steel, like one of those two? Because that's become on like in the last 2, maybe 3 years, I think something that people really push on advertising materials.
Yeah, so I'm going to hit these two real quick. We had a donation. I don't think I missed any more. Mr. Gambit says, as a former point guard in basketball, you need to be able to do ambidextrous left and right hand. I completely agree, especially with your casting, because if you go, you'll notice it more in I guess you can on the bank too, but like a boat. If you normally troll your boat from left to right up the bank, so your bank's on your left, you're a right-handed caster. You're more confident that way, right? Boat guys generally won't go from having the bank where they're casting to on their right side, because you're going to have to backhand cast or only cast forward. So being able to cast not only across your body to your left if you're a right-handed caster, or cast back, like that's so huge. And I remember a long time ago there was a video of Gerald Swindle was talking about it, and I think he did one even more recently talking about being ambidextrous and not having to reposition your boat to hit a spot. As you're moving your boat, it doesn't matter what the spot is, you should be able to hit it no matter what. And that's completely true.
Try watching someone who's fly casting, back across their body and roll cast forward on a freaking dime and manage line while they're doing it. I know no one in here actually cares. I'm telling you right now, you watch somebody do it and you're like, there is no effing way I'm ever getting that one.
So I've tried fly fishing before, and I can do it a little bit, but like something like that is ridiculous. But also to jump in on that, not only the casting, but the retrieving. So if I'm working like a topwater or a jerkbait, I don't know how to do it with my left hand. I'm like, and it does.
Stop making that motion with your dongle.
Quit messing with your dongle.
My dongle. It does hurt my dongle, but it's like my right hand. I can only do it. I'm very right-handed.
Yeah. No, 100%.
But
I mean, to Paul's point, like we just did a rafting trip with a buddy, which unfortunately was so unproductive a day. It didn't turn into
the worst day.
We just got dumped on with rain and we caught one fish, but like for 8 hours. But to that point, it's like when you're at the front or the back of the boat and you're trying not to hook somebody while you're fly fishing, like you're doing false casting and all that stuff, trying not to just put a fly in your buddy's head. No people were injured on this trip, so I'm pretty proud of us. But you're like casting this way, and then you like turn and you're casting this way, and sometimes you're just like flipping back, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, to that point, like to the boat point, it's not just in a bass boat; it's in kayaks, canoes, rafts, fly fishing, conventional fishing, all of that. Like that's important. It does make a big difference. You are kind of like flipping on uncomfortable angles there. It happens.
So I'm going to hit this one real quick before I get to Top Hat. I was going back and scrolling through. I don't think I missed any donations. If I did, call it out now. Guys, try to watch for me. I don't think I missed anybody. I think Top Cat.
I saw a super sticker from Izzy Does It. Oh, and then I saw a $4.99 from Top Cat for
Top Cat's the one I have next. Yep, that was the last one. I don't think I missed anybody else. If I did, I'm sorry. Stuff is flying all sorts of through here for comments.
And Fishing with Gramps just dropped one.
I did see that one. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So Randy said, not Dizzle, Randy and Lori Arnberg. Some people cannot afford high price stuff. Dude, I completely understand that. And that's and I'm not saying that you go and get the Daiwa CC80, again, $59 reel. Love the reel. I'm just saying that if you fish a ton, you're going to notice some things more than you would if you fished an all aluminum frame reel, a reel that's a little bit sturdier, or if you're fishing it for applications that's not necessarily meant for. If you're slinging 4-ounce swim baits on this, it's going to get rough pretty quick. I'm telling you that.
But that's also why I want to have this conversation, because like, let's say you're on a budget and you're like, I have $89. I have $89 to spend. do I need brass gears or not? Do I need an aluminum freight or not? Do I need to see at least 6-ball bearings or not? Like, that's what I want you to click into, a Dick's Sporting Goods, an Amazon or wherever, and be like, I know enough about what I'm seeing to know that this is either a gimmick or something I do or don't need.
I think that's completely fair. And I also think at the same time, like, all right, let's all recognize in the first place, do you need all this stuff to catch fish?
No.
Cool. All right.
I just went out with my 2-year-old in a $50 setup and caught like a dozen fish.
You guys can catch fish on anything, but like what it comes down to, and I'll give you the point from our perspective of posting a YouTube short of us in our Hobie 360s and people going like, oh, look at these idiots. They bought this like $5,000 boat so they can catch fish. What a bunch of dorks. And we're like, okay, it comes down to this. It's like, how much do you want to enjoy yourself on the water? Like, let's say you fish a lot. You want to enjoy yourself. You want castability to be on point. You want it to be smooth. You want it to be perfect, reliable. And like, you catch a big one, you don't want to be worried of it breaking. Like, that's what it comes down to. Do you want to catch fish and you don't care about anything else? Cool. Like, go in that $50, $60 range. Abu Garcia Black Max. Awesome. Like, go pick that up.
All day.
Perfect. You will win. You will catch fish. You will catch fish.
And it'll last.
Do you want a nicer vehicle upgrade? Like, you'll enjoy it. It'll be worth it.
Use your feet.
It'll last a long time. For Paul and I, like, getting
have you
our
ever had
was
air conditioned seats?
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me they're not great.
Tell me that doesn't come stock on my Kia, whatever Optima.
Yeah, but in the same breath, you can go to, and I know I've talked at this point before. They have like near me and Debo up in by Okoboji. They have like an in fisherman store. It's like an Abu like secondhand scratch and dent store.
Yeah,
yeah. And you can like go and get the pure fishing. You can go and get a higher priced reel. Like, honestly, if you want to go out and get something, there's somebody out there that's going to sell it for less than what you can go and buy it brand new from like one of the big box stores, like a Bass Pro or a Cabela's or anything like that.
Exactly. Debo might sell you a classic Shimano for $40 because he doesn't know what he had at the time.
Well, and that's kind of what's leading me into this is like there's a couple different things you can look at in going to this. So one, if you have a budget, that's fine. The problem with a lot of the budget reels is they're not going to be as refined. And I think that's what really leaves a bad taste in a lot of people using a bait caster as they go to Walmart and buy the cheapest thing they can. And it's not easy to use. Like, if you buy a decent bait caster, it's nothing compared to a lot of those. Now, a lot of it is set up. Okay, I understand that. But sometimes going too cheap is not a good thing. Now, there are good budget options, for not spending a lot. But sometimes if you go too cheap, and even I will even honestly argue the LFS is a ton easier for a beginner than the SLX. You don't have to open it up. It's just a dial right here. And I think that magnetic brakes, your standard Doyo 5 magnetic brakes, and what I mean is when you crack it open, it's literally run by 5 magnets. It is a lot easier to use for a beginner than centrifugal brakes. And that's what you're going to get into when you use the SLX. Actually, I've got it right here. You have to crack this baby open real quick. Yep.
I was like, I got you to it, but yeah, it's this.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got to turn those on, turn them off. It's not, those brakes aren't on the whole time. Like, once you reach a certain point, if you don't have enough force to spin those little arms out, they're done. Magnetic brakes are on the whole time. So, there's kind of ways to argue that. And that's why I say that buying a good used reel or buying a couple years, like a year or two, older, you can find them selling those cheap. Shields is a great example. Somebody, I think it was Chris Russ, I don't know if he's in here, sent me a thing of the Abu Garcia Veritas and 13 Fishing something. $100 reel marked half, or $100 rod marked half off, and like $150 rod for like $50. Again, they were either last year's or like year and a half ago's models, and they're just getting rid of them because they've got overstock. So that's a great way to do it. Do your research on that. When it comes to aluminum versus brass gearing, brass is supposed to be better. Brass is going to be heavier, but they say it's more durable. If you look at the two Daiwa Zillion versions, so I think my favorite reel on the market, it's $350 reel, right? It's not for everybody. I found a good deal on it. I was really lucky to get that. Put my hands on it and use it. my favorite reel. I like it more than my Metanium. I like it more than $500 reels that I've used. But you're looking at an aluminum gear versus a brass gear in the JDM version versus the American version. And neither of those are the American's not even made in Japan, right? So like you've got those guys they're sticklers on that. And it's not even the US version isn't even made in Japan, so it's like, I think people put too much emphasis on that.
I just want to jump in and also say, like, this is going to sound really dumb on my part, but you have to know what the reel is actually going to do for you. So I remember I went out and stupidly, I've told this story before on here, like I stupidly bought a fishing 13 fishing Concept C reel. I got it spooled up and then they're like, oh, it's X dollars. And I was like, whoa,
what?
How much?
Here's a credit card instead of a debit card, So like I got this reel and then I was fishing it. And unbeknownst to me, it had internal brakes with that little knob that you turn it.
Mm-hmm.
And for the entire time I was fishing and I was like, I hate this thing. This reel, I can't do anything with this reel. It sucked. I just wasted like X amount of dollars on this thing and I hate my life and I'm just going to go dive in a lake head first. But then like I talked to Debo and he's like, I'm like, dude, I casted this thing. I love this. I like the feel of it in hand. I like the grips, everything else like that. And he's like, what did you set the internal brakes as? And I was like,
the what now?
Never heard.
Who did what? And, just those simple little things of it's got internal brakes versus external brakes. And these are the things that you really need to know and pay attention to when you're buying a reel, whether it be $600 or $50. You got to know what you're getting into before you really make your choice and before you make your opinion. Give it the best effort that you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Top Cat, thank you very much for the donation. Hey, Dizzle, when are you going to do some jig tips and tricks vids with Debo? All you guys keep up the good work. P.S. I've been digging my alloy. Yeah, so he's talking about the Piscifin Alloy M. Yeah, I like that reel, man. It casts well. We'll definitely do that. We'll try to figure out a date and set that up probably this fall. We'll get on some good fall fish. We'll do it.
Yeah, we gotta get on some decent fishing. Like right now, all I'm doing is like setting a jig on a fish that I feel like should be 3, 4, 5, 6 pounds, and it ends up being those in ounces, and it flies up over my head. So it's not quite the video I want to put out there of me virtually like just beating up these little tiny fish.
Just eating dinks.
Yeah, I feel so bad. I make sure to apologize to them like 5 or 6 times in a row.
My bad.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Oh, I didn't know you were small. Hey, you always have to set the hook like it's a big one, because the time that big one does hit, you're like, oh, it's a little one. Then you're like, you see it and you're like, oh no.
Every tree ponder I catch gets absolutely lambasted.
Hey, dude, you don't get charged for hook sets. Swing away.
I mean,
Izzy does it with the $5 donation. Thank you, Izzy does it. What were you going to say there, Burly?
I was going to say Paul just did this on the river. He literally had a smallie, like potential game changer of a day for him, swim at him. And he was like, I thought it was a stick. And then it just swam away and he was like, just did not have a good day at that point.
Yep.
Fishing with Gramps says, watching on my way home, frogfish fail again. Oh, dude, you'll get on them. We need to get you on some frogfish. I need to get on some frogfish. This has been one of the slowest frogfish years I've had in years. It's been awful.
I had a whole day where I didn't do anything but catch frogfish, and it's carrying me.
Dude.
I mean, I've had a day of that, but it's not like it was last year or the year before. Like
No.
It was multiple weeks of this, and
every year I'm usually on frogfish, and this has just been okay. We need to do giveaways,
like week and a half full of missed frogfish that just makes me want to hate my life. And then I look down the shore, and there's Debo over there cranking his like 16th frogfish, and I just curse him and chuck my combo into the woods.
Oh, Randall, that was a funny video.
Go back to
that was the one where I was actually able.
That was hilarious.
I was able to zoom in on Randy down in the corner because he was just barely in my GoPro footage, and I see him swing on a frogfish, and then I see him take his rod and go throw it in the grass. And all you see is my GoPro shaking me going,
oh, man.
Sounds like a normal
really
day.
funny.
Oh, my gosh. I love you, Randall. Okay, let's do a giveaway. We've still got 225 people in here. How we have more than 5 people, I don't know. But let's see. How are we going to pick a winner? Some sort of trivia. What are we going to pick? That's how I'm doing mine.
What's Paul's favorite color?
Decide how you're going to do yours.
Paul's favorite color.
No, I have to know it because I have to be able to pick the winner. Also, Ramon set my hook twice on a tree pounder today. That was fun, dude. And it's funny because like people will roast you on a video of like, oh, you thought that was a fish. I've never fell for that. It's like,
I've never not known.
Well, shit, I fall for that every freaking time I go.
You've not been fishing, brother.
Yeah, you're lying.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
A good question that I'll look for while you guys are.
I don't know. I need to look. I was actually just Googling this the other day, and I think there's a way you can pick a random comment picker and get it set up on here on StreamYard. I'll have to do it. I don't know if I could. I have to pay like the extra, whatever it's called. Okay.
Nathan 79 says copper truce is Paul's favorite color, and he would not be wrong.
Yeah,
or
that would be it.
Let's see. How shall I pick a winner? Okay, what was my first upgrade reel that I bought new back in like 2014-15? It wasn't a used Shimano. It was a new reel, one of 2. It wasn't an Abu. It was a blank and then 3 letters. Company name, 3 letters. Whoever shows it first on my screen gets this whole box of things and stuff. I've been a big proponent of this reel. Yep, it was a Lew's pike and tackle. Which one though? Lew's what?
Oh, I think I know what it is.
LFS, Lew's LFS. Holy smokes, they're rolling in now.
Yeah.
The first one I see is Chris Russ, right under SLX, under Adam Brummett. Effin Springs and Pike and Tackle had it on there, but I see Chris Russ with the Lew's LFS. Do we agree? Is that what we're seeing? Did you guys see that?
That's what I saw. I'm just scrolling back through here, yeah.
I saw Dizzle's face, and I thought he just didn't know what the answer to the trivia was. He was like, "Wait."
Okay, well, it was Chris on my screen.
Honest,
So Chris,
I didn't know what it was.
That's funny. Chris is a huge supporter. Also, a fellow Iowa guy, so I know he knows how to hit me up. It was a Lew's LFS. We'll be doing more of these. How are you guys doing yours?
How shall we do ours?
I hate doing all the trivia ones because what I don't want to do is I don't want to
never think of a trivia one.
Well, I have one, but it actually already came up. Thanks for nothing, Jeff. Morning Dawn already came up once.
No. Here it is. All right. So, what is the name of a certain rig that we recently posted about? That is a finesse. We'll give it a quote unquote finesse rig, in which there are maybe 2 techniques involved.
Yeah, you could fish both of your favorite colors.
You can fish all your favorite colors, like Morning Dawn, Copper Truce, fantastic. What is the name of that rig? And then we'll do our giveaway for that.
It's already up.
I think I see a few. Who was the first one?
That's got to be G-Fon, right?
Was it G-Fon?
No, I don't think it was.
No
way.
I guess we gotta say what's the answer.
G-Fon is
the drop dead Ned.
It's the drop dead Ned.
G-Fon is the first one I've seen.
That is the first one.
G-Fon. Yep. There you go, bud.
G-Fon, my dude, you're getting all this stuff and then the 7 things I couldn't pick up.
All these things. Also, thank you so much for sending.
Except for that one swim bait.
Except for that one swim bait. Where did that go again? I don't know.
Dizzle, if you want one, we can hook you up, man.
Dude, G-Fon's our dude. Like, he sent us a deeper. I think it was the start, right?
It was the deeper start. Yeah, we owe that guy anyways.
Video. So I mean, I sent him a bunch of gear in that video, but we'll send him more stuff now. So there you go. He's the dude. He's the guy.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to have Fishing with Gramps. You're going to have to be on my next stream. So he just said do giveaway or StreamYard.com/giveaway. And then you pick a matching text.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put it in here. I don't know. I guess I would have to share my screen and we could do that. So just to give you a, let me see. Can I share this? How do I do share?
A peek behind the scenes.
A peek behind the scenes. Check this out. So then I'm sharing this screen. If I go to
while you're screen sharing, I have to pee really so bad. I'm gonna lose my mind.
So this is awesome. This is going to give me a way to do it. So if I type Dizzle in here and do start collecting comments. Let's see who all put Dizzle in here.
Everybody type Dizzle.
Nobody put Dizzle in
All I want to do
here?
is say, "Hey Alexa," just to mess with everybody.
Pick a winner.
Let's see.
Hope everybody's
okay, so LFS. Let's just do LFS. That was the answer. But I think it's an exact match. That's the only problem though. So like, see, this only picked up 2. There was a lot more people that said 2.
Yep.
So it's between Randall, Pink Floyd, and Mike Bailey. But okay, this is pretty cool though. I like this.
Okay.
I'll have to read into this more, but like obviously there was so there's a bunch of people saying Dizzle.
Yep.
Oh, Randall, Pink Floyd won. Woo! Am I still sharing?
No. You switched off.
Well, it's going a little slow on the thing. It's still scrolling.
That's pretty red.
And
yeah, so that's cool, Gramps. Thank you very much. How do I? There we go. So if I do, so there was a bunch of people saying Dizzle. So if I do stop, how do I go back though?
So you can just pick a word that everybody types in to enter. Pretty rad.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder
anyway, I'll have to play with that. I don't understand. I guess how that works.
Capital, lowercase.
I don't know.
It'd be like all lowercase or all caps, and you got to define.
So anyway, I'll play with that. Gramps, I'll hit you offline. I don't know if you've used that. He brought that up. Thank you very much, man. Somebody told me you could do it, so I don't know if it's case sensitive. Like if I don't know how it does it, but I'll have to look into that more. That'll be a fun way to just do it randomly instead of doing.
I feel bad. Yeah, we do that, and I feel really bad because I don't like to leave people out who are like new to the chat. I don't.
Same. Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to like leave people out, so I feel bad. Like G-Fun, I'm super glad you won. I want to like give you all my stuff. Like I think that's great, but at the same time, like I do want everyone to feel included, and like they have a shot, and like you know, it's just
100%.
So, G-Fun, you're still getting all the stuff.
Okay, yeah, and
we retract said prizes. I'm kidding.
Chris, you'll still get mine, but I'll look at that for in the future because a lot of times I've honestly just closed my eyes and just scrolled up and down and then picked someone.
It's not. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not.
Who's in here recently? Yeah, I mean,
I
don't know how to do it.
We got to call out. Roland just said bathroom break. Be a pro and go adult diaper, Paul.
So you say that and you make that joke. I have legitimately. I've legitimately thought about just going on mute and having a Gatorade bottle because I'm very comfortable with that method. I haven't pulled the trigger yet.
As long as it's 1 and not a 2.
No.
Wide mouth Gatorade bottle.
Only 2.
Oh my gosh. All right. So what else do we have for questions? Let's take a couple more questions. We're already at an hour and a half. I can't
lightning round.
Yeah, lightning round. What do you guys have for lightning questions? Let's do a this or that. I forget who did.
This or that.
Actually, it might have been. Was it Roland that does the this or that? I forget who it was, but has donated a couple times with the this and that. Those are a ton of fun. So if you guys have a quick this or that question, or if you have a question on like real stuff, I know we kind of went down a bunch of different rabbit holes. I've had that video planned for over a year and a half, talking about like budget stuff, too expensive stuff, and I've never done it. I feel like a jerk. Same thing for my backpack. I've had 18 million people ask me about my bank fishing backpack, and I have still never done a full breakdown.
We did the one on the mini
one. Yeah, I've never done a full one on my Tackle Warehouse one, and I have had anybody you can think of. It seems like ask me that. So let us know a few this or that questions or any sort of quick questions. We'll try to go real quick through some, answer some stuff. I'm sorry if we didn't get to comments. Like I said, I know we were on a bunch of different tangents tonight, but hey. Oh, G-Fan. I did see G-Fan ask this like right at the start. 96 Bulls or 96 NBA draft class? Dude, 96 Bulls for sure. That was like what? Kukoc, Pippen, Harper. Was that Longley? Was Longley in the 96 Bulls?
Gotta be Pippen home.
That's like
all I gotta say.
Rodman. Like, dude, that
I'll
was
take 04 Pistons over everybody, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Yeah, I will.
And I wasn't even a huge Bulls
Hey guys,
fan
look at
back in
the time. It looks like I gotta go.
You guys remember the All-Star game when it was like LeBron, and then they put in like the 4 biggest starters for the Pistons, and they were like down 35, and then they end up winning. They used to end up winning that game. It was a joke.
Who?
Marsha or Cindy Brady?
Okay.
I would say Marsha because it's always Marsha.
100%.
Marsha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was too easy.
Nacho cheese and Cool Ranch.
Submit catches on that rig. That'd be a cool one for the Burly channel.
Yeah,
just got the double, so he's probably going to take you no matter what.
I mean, everybody. The funny thing is, a lot of people talk trash about the rig, and all I hear is like, the knot's gonna break, and that doesn't work. And
all I hear is beep boop, bop boop, beep boop. Never tried it, never caught anything.
I'm like, I've already done this 1,000 times, you guys. Like, what are you talking about?
Never heard.
Okay,
of it,
wacky rig or Ned rig when going finesse. It totally depends on the place. If it's a place I can get away with like all hard bottom, Ned rig is hard to beat in pretty much every other case. No, we're just gonna say regular wacky rig.
If I could only pick one, like forever, it would 100% be the wacky.
Yeah, I'd say wacky rig.
It just works in all of the places. That
even if you have a hard bottom, you can still fish the wacky rig.
And even if you're in, you can drift it mid, low, high, weedless, weightless. Like there's a billion ways to do it, and it works at all columns. The Ned rig doesn't really work so great unless you're at the bottom.
Except I retract that because ultralight Ned rigging. So
and you can swim a Ned rig. That's actually how it was made.
So
I'm
they
gonna,
did it first,
I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna go Ned rig.
You can swim any rig that you want.
Paul doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't even know how to swim a Ned rig. Paul, you don't even fish a Ned rig on the bottom.
Just like 38 knives in my back.
Can you imagine this being an argument and you're just like, I bet you can't even swim a Ned rig.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a country song? I bet you can't even bait a hook.
It is. Yeah.
Justin
you can't even swim a Ned.
You can't even swim a Ned.
Okay, Top Cat. We already know how Randy's going to answer this one. Randy, Daiwa or Shimano?
Daiwa.
Shimano all day.
Okay.
I can't even pick one. I love both.
Almost
I don't.
I'm such a gear nerd. There's like stuff I love at all of them. Like I couldn't pick a favorite
even
brand.
if you throw out the Daiwa radios back in the day, or even include them either way, I'm still going Shimano.
Wow.
Did you get that
I think
Radio Shack?
I'd go Shimano.
I would answer that.
Walmart had Daiwas.
Did they?
Walmart had Daiwas.
I remember the what was it? Pyramid.
Daiwa radios, not.
I was about to say. Yeah.
Okay, what else we got? Let's see.
Oh,
I hate it when it skips all the way down. That's the only thing I don't like about this. I don't know why it does that.
What was it? I think it was Fishing Code asked for 3 combos only.
That's more of a this or that.
Yeah.
How about this one? What was your favorite iCast bait of the year?
Oh shit! I cast bait.
The poop. Oh, the poop lure, Randy.
The turd.
Poop lure.
I'm just
turd
not how it works out if somebody catches anything on a poop.
Dude, I don't even know. Like there's a few things that I saw that were cool, but
if anybody says gilly, I'll fight you.
Come at me, bro.
I think the gilly was my favorite. You can swim it better than the Ned rig.
I might just say gilly. Can we do like a tag team battle royale here? I mean, just for funsies?
That's not fair. We got an MMA guy in here.
Hey, no.
Okay. So
far past my peak.
Debo, either way.
Dizzle chose sides.
I'm fragile.
I did think the like I forget what it's called, but the really tiny bladed jig, the chatterbait. I thought that was like such a cool idea and needed to happen. And I also thought the upsize one for pike. I'm gonna do that. I'm doing that. I want the toothy critters. I have to have that in the arsenal. I thought that was really cool and like just kind of like no fanfare. It was just like there and like cool.
Yeah. I feel like I answered this in a YouTube comment, but the new Strike King spinner baits that are coming out for $7.99 were like kind of top of my list just because they're like they hit that price point and they were high quality materials. Like
the best,
kind of a no brainer.
The coolest idea the whole idea of like skipping a buzzbait is definitely like a new industry trend. The one that Strike King came out with that has like it's like a square and it has like the hook like maintenance piece wire at the back. I was like,
that was pretty sweet.
Like I thought that was the most unique, cool idea. A twist to say like, no, I'm making the best version of a skipping bait out there because Big Bite Baits came out with one that looks really cool. It has the painted blades, has a really nice hook holder.
I like that,
but it doesn't leave a lot of room for the buzz bait. And if you see any tension or flex, it's just not doing what it's supposed to do. So like, I'm way on the Strike King side of that things, just because
they had a lot.
I just thought it was a great idea. I thought it was really cool, especially for a new thing.
for iCast overall, I thought there were some really cool colors that came out. Some like really different, realistic and or the opposite total end of realistic and just crazy, bright, vibrant colors. And I think, that's going to do a whole lot of something.
Well, Scumfrog's Toppin' Frog thing was sweet, and I don't know if you guys know they 3D print like all the colors now, so they can print like whatever they want on them. And we got our hands on those, and I was very impressed. Like very, very. They need to make mice so badly. I was cringing that there wasn't a mouse pattern because they could make they could make the most realistic mouse out there. They also, excuse me.
Yeah,
all of their new
Nico as well. Nico colors were.
Oh god,
those weren't exactly new, to be fair. So
so they're not new. Yeah,
but Nico, yes, they're fantastic.
They're the glow in the dark,
the UV light,
the UV Nico bait winnow is unreal. It's unreal and got no play, and it is silly. They're unreal.
I found that out by accident. I literally had some Nico baits like in my boat, just sitting in there, and I walked out into my garage, and it was like the middle of the night, and I'm like going out there to like just shut off lights, close the garage door, or whatever, and I just see a glowing thing like a radioactive material in my kayak, and I walk over there, and it's my freaking Nico baits, and I was like, these glow. And it was before
did at least you throw your hand in there just in case it was like one of those special spiders? I
was like, who will I be?
We have to answer this question. I see the one that's up. We have to.
Let's burn through some more of these.
This is a great question.
David, not even that doesn't even come. However, Tombstone all day. Shawshank Redemption is strangely one of those movies that I love. It's like a top 10 because whenever it's on, I watch it. Like it's so weird. Like.
Tombstone all day, every day. It's like I have like 7 DVDs left, and I just don't want to get rid of them. And that's
Tombstone
one of them.
Never go away.
I can't get rid of it. I will never get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm going Tombstone as well. Although 100%. I do. God, what is this is so stupid to even say this out loud. What is the guy who scribes the thing in the rafter and said X was here? I quote that often. God, I can't think of his name.
I don't remember, but I just remember I'll be your
when he hung himself. No.
Oh, the guy with the bird.
The old.
I can't remember his name. Yeah,
I was going to say the old guy, but they were all old.
Well, he was.
Anyway, what's that over there?
Okay. Yum or Zoom? Wesley asks. Yum or Zoom?
Zoom.
I'll say Yum.
I'd say
Love
Zoom.
The Yum dinger.
Everything about everything.
And the fluke is.
Can I got both?
All of them.
I love it.
Randall, are you an Iowa guy like us? Butter cow or fried butter on a stick? He's talking about Iowa Fair type stuff now. So in the Iowa Fair, we always have like a butter cow, things that are sculpted out of butter at the Iowa State Fair. And we've got the Iowa State Fair has everything on a stick, including an actual piece of butter. Deep fried on a stick.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would ever eat a stick of butter.
I feel like Paul is preparing to answer this question.
I'm preparing to answer this question, and I'm preparing to add to it. I have been to the Minnesota State Fair 4 times.
The floor recognizes Paul_J_glass. Proceed with your answer.
The Minnesota State Fair, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to break down my 3 favorite foods. 3 favorite foods and top beverage from the Minnesota State Fair. Number 1, it is the fried pork chop, and it's not close, and it doesn't sound amazing until you have one and you realize you will not maybe even eat anything else.
Is that just a thicker tenderloin? Because the tenderloin is a sandwich of Iowa. So
it's the nice tenderloin, but here's the thing that kills you is the seasoning, and then it's on the actual. It's like on the pork, but it's also in the batter that they use when they fry it. It is unbelievable.
And then that sounds like a tenderloin. I'm down with that all day.
It is. Oh, so good. The deep fried Snickers bar will blow your mind. You will have a really hard time not getting it like 3 to 4 times. Like
the Snickers bar or diabetes
through your digestive system.
Sure. Yes. And or duh. And then this one is legit. And I'm telling you right now, the bucket of cookies, the bucket of cookies.
Yes.
They're miniature cookies, and I'm telling you right now, I've never had a better cookie in my entire life. Best beverage is the whipped lemonade. Period.
See, the funny thing is that Paul is actually a ghost, and I don't actually have a live co-host on my podcast. he died a while ago.
So when I was playing competitive rugby, I would go to the Minnesota State Fair, like, because it's only open for like a week and a half, or like you get like 10 days to go or 2 weeks or whatever. I would go during the week the days that we didn't have practice, and I would literally eat as much as I could. I would start in like the hot food section, and then I would go to the cold food section, and then it was the deep fried like day, like at the end of that week. And I worked that state fair every year.
You need fair food, like anywhere you go, like dude, fair food is always just so good. It's always full before you.
Best fish taco I've ever had. High quality mini donuts. That's all. Just some
dude, those little mini apple donuts.
Hot mini donuts.
Oh yeah,
no,
sure.
not
we're
apple.
in the Midwest. We got cider mills, dude.
Not apple, just a fresh mini donut with too much sugar and too much deliciousness.
If you guys come out, my hometown, I live in this little tiny town, and we have the Chelsea Bakery. And they make donuts, and Jeff has had like a 7-hour-old version of their fritter. It will change your life.
Are we talking cake or are we talking fried?
It's a fritter.
Fried, bro. What?
Fried.
The donut, not the fritter. The donut.
Fried.
Kenny, let's get back to questions.
Yeah.
Let's fast questions. Minnows or worms?
Worms.
Crawlers.
I assume.
100% I am worms/crawlers, because ice fishing, when I have my stupid minnow bucket on with the aerator, that video was awful when it's like that thing. Yeah, waxies, aka worms.
Go on, waxies, got it.
Let's see, sunset or sunrise? For me, it's sunrise, and I hate mornings, but there's nothing more that I like than driving super early, fog out there. I love it. Absolutely love it.
I'm going sunset. I'm a sunset guy. More luck at sunset than sunrise.
The thing I would agree with that statement. The only reason I'm not going to pick sunset is when it doesn't happen at sunset, you're done. When it doesn't happen at sunrise, you get the rest of the day.
That's
so I'm taking sunrise.
Well, when it doesn't happen at sunset, you hook up your crawler and you fish for some cats.
1,000%.
Hey,
10 out of 10. Agreed.
Reaction Innovations Plastic or 6 Cents? Reaction Innovations all the way. Not sponsored by them. If they want to sponsor me and bring a huge truckload here, I would love it. But never gonna happen. Yeah, I love their stuff. Yep, I love their stuff.
Can't pick. I've not gone through the library of Reaction Innovation. I have gone probably through 2/3 of the library on 6 Cents, and I like all of it. It's all very good, but I don't. I think a lot of it's more branding than it is like super high quality. Like it's very good, and I use it, but yeah.
For me, honestly, just the names on Reaction Innovations alone is going to give me the Jordan 808.
Yeah,
it's kind of huge. I would say I think I have one bag of Reaction Innovations, which I think you sent me, Debo. So I think I have some paddle tails from them, and then like Paul, I've fished a lot of 6 Cents. So tough. I don't think I can fairly make a decision there, but
they both have great stuff.
And that's coming from me. I'm a big 6 Cents fan. Like I got a ton of their stuff, but I like all of their plastics, but I don't know enough about Reaction Innovations.
They're decent.
KVD or Jimmy Houston? KVD.
I gotta say, what kind of question is that?
We're in Michigan, dude.
KVD.
Yeah, that's like I would say Jimmy Houston, or I would almost say Jimmy Houston or Bill Dance, or like Hank.
That's fair.
I'm going KVD in that question just because Jimmy Houston has too much of a page boy haircut to compete with.
Dude, his hair is something else.
Okay, I'm jealous of his hair. All right, I get it. I understand.
We get it. It's fair.
Oh, okay. Here's the one we're going to end on. Not only is his name Critical Gravy, the question is biscuits and gravy or gravy and biscuits. Yes to both.
Biscuits and gravy.
Dude, my favorite breakfast, biscuits and gravy, hands down. I will Goldberg spear anybody. Best breakfast out there. Love it. Love biscuits and gravy.
I think it's fair if the gravy is seasoned well. You get like that bad hotel gravy, and you're just like,
too flour, right? Too much flour in that gravy.
I'm with Debo.
salt packets in it, but I would say gravy and biscuits because I will drown my biscuits. I'll drown them.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough.
I'll make a bowl separate of the biscuits. I'll dip the biscuits in the gravy, and I will spoon feed myself said gravy.
I wanted clarity because I'm wondering, is it initially I thought it was like they have to be separate, like biscuits and gravy. But like, is it the amount of each? Is it like, do I want more biscuit to gravy, or do I want more gravy to biscuit? Like, what's the question?
I'm taking it as you go into a said restaurant and you say, I want biscuits.
Anyone
that orders gravy and biscuits is a serial
So if this is just terminology, because I took it as quantities, as in, like, do you want some cheese with that wine?
Someone that asked for gravy and biscuits is also going to follow that up with, I would also like sugar and water.
Sugar, water.
Sure.
AKA water.
I don't understand.
Okay, a couple more before we're over here. G-Fan Kim did drop a $10 donation. I don't know where your comment went. Thank you very much, G-Fan. I appreciate that. Adam Bremmett, because we always have to have a Guggen question on every single live. Guggen or Strike King. Strike King, just because of the library of
mates
that they have.
They have everything.
You could have picked almost any other brand and it would have been way closer. But they
had the Rage Flange. Come on, it's funny. It gets brought up every time.
I mean,
Guggen makes a name for itself in my playbook on the rattle and net alone. The rattle and net is like, I save the rattles when the plastics die so I can shove them in my other baits.
So I like the mini trench hog, the smaller trench hogs. Those work awesome for trailers, but outside of that, anything else, I'm going Strike King, like Jordan Fadeaway, 100%.
If I open your bag, I guarantee it's 95% Googies. What?
Hey, what time is it right now? Just count down 50 minutes, and I'm going to come slap you in the face.
That's fine. Go ahead. Okay, the last one, Jesse G. Jesse, if I can find your actual comment, I'll put it up here real quick. Jesse G. There you are. My favorite lures are ones that are made here in the USA. Yeah, absolutely. I've been trying to do more of the small tackle shop stuff, and there's a bunch of really cool, small companies and stuff. So I certainly urge you guys and gals to check out some of the small lure stuff. But we're almost at 2 hours. We're getting out of here. I said we were going to get out of here a long time ago. So thank you all so much for watching. We'll be here again next week. Thank you, Burly and Paul. You guys have already been on here, but if anybody's new watching, where can we find you guys at?
We run a little channel much smaller than yours that is Burly Fishing, but you guys can check us out on YouTube. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all Burly Fishing, BURLY FISHING. And then you can find Paul _J_glass, which is a generic white guy name. but yeah, he's on Instagram, so you can check him out as well. But otherwise, he helps me with all the Burly Fishing stuff. We appreciate you guys so much for checking us out.
Awesome. Y'all are good people. Fun talk, fun just going through fishing stuff and anything else that comes along. That's what's so fun with you guys is you're real. Randy and I have talked about that as, you guys are similar to us in a bunch of ways of you're just going out and sharing your experience. And, it's like so weird in the fishing community. There's so much, it's clicky stuff. Like you have to be like with friends with this guy or clickbait stuff, even, the most craziest random thing, new PB and this most dangerous thing almost died. And it's like, then you have this like other group of people that it's just real fishing. Like, hey, I did this. Here's the bait, having a good time, having fun. So that's why we appreciate you guys. I know there's a bunch of other people here that appreciate it. So that's enough from us tonight. We're getting out of here. We appreciate all of you who watch. So thanks for watching. Until next time.